Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and my friends, Granblue Fantasy Versus is not too far away. So the game does have an official North American release date of March the 3rd, and all the sooner yet for Japan actually, as the Japanese release date is February the 6th, which actually is, as of making this video, very close. So I want to talk about this game in general primer sense. So since the game's coming out, if you don't know much about the game, or heck, if you don't know anything about the game at all, I'm just going to be going over just what this game is, besides a fighting game obviously, and just what you can expect from it. So now, as for what this fighting game is on a base level, what style of fighting game it is, I kind of look at it as a modern reimagining of a back to basics kind of fighting game. You know, maybe not going all the way back to Street Fighter 2 in terms of the basics, but, well, heck, you know, a lot of people in the fighting game community, we call this anime Street Fighter 2, right? Because it prioritizes a lot of, you know, the basics and fundamentals that made Street Fighter 2 such a good game. Now, I did mention the term anime, and in the fighting game sense, that usually evokes a very specific style of game, more so than the aesthetic. So I'm talking things like Guilty Gear, Dragon Ball Fighters, very aerial based, lots of air dashing, all that kind of stuff. And Granblue is very much more your 2 feet on the ground style of game. Not to say there aren't characters with air options, to be sure, because there absolutely is, but for the most part, there's not so much just constant super jumping, air dash, all that kind of stuff. Once again, more like Street Fighter, hey, your 2 feet are on the ground, you're fighting back and forth for positioning, that kind of stuff. So to give you a very brief idea of the control scheme here, we have this very helpful diagram. So this game is 3 main attacks here, light, medium, and heavy, and of course multiple versions, as you can do them while jumping or while crouching. Game also has proximity normals, meaning the move will change while you're close to the enemy. We also have the unique action here, and as it states, hey, you know, it's unique to each character, right? Some people can do very similar to a Street Fighter 4 style focus attack. One of the characters uses it to stack super armor on regular moves, and so on and so forth. It is unique to every character. We also have skills, which we'll talk about in a second, and guard. So this is a back to block game, yes. However, you can also hold the guard button to block. So you have the best of both worlds, Street Fighter style, Mortal Kombat style, whatever you want to do. You can hold back the block or hold the block button. To note, the block button will also automatically block cross-ups, but it doesn't deal with high or lows or anything. So you do have to block high-low normally, otherwise you can do it. Also, the block button lets you block standing without having to hold back. So, hey, that's something. Now, to mention skills here, that's these guys right below the life bar. And what they're there for is for 2 reasons. One, to let you know cooldowns, because that's the thing we'll talk about in a moment. But also just let you know, hey, here are your easy inputs. Because yes, there are easy inputs. There are also auto combos and all that kind of stuff. And before you get scared, if this is some baby mode game, don't worry, there's still big combos. Hey, check this out. I think you'll find this suitably impressive enough. But yeah, the idea behind some easy input stuff here, auto combo stuff, is just, hey, they want to bring newer people who never played fighting games into the game. And honestly, it's one of the better ways to do it, right? Because especially input-wise, this is what makes fighting games harder for beginners, so I applaud the effort, but it doesn't really hurt the depth in any real way. So, talking about skills here, you can see the little cooldown happening. It just simply means you can't use that special move until the cooldown is over. If you do the regular motion for the move, cooldown is fairly short. If you use the easy input, it'll be a little bit longer. So you are incentivized to use the regular motions over the easy inputs. Now, one thing to note, if you use an EX version of the move, and all the moves have EX versions, it actually makes the cooldown way longer, because the EX moves are big deals. They want them to be very impactful. So once you use an EX move, the cooldown will be pretty long, and you simply can't use even the regular version of that move at all until the cooldown is back up. And to briefly note, the simple motions, the easy execution motions for some of the super moves that we can use here, they actually do have some value in real high-level play as well, because they can surpass certain requirements. Like one, if you have a charge move, the easy execution version of the move doesn't care if you have charge or not. It just happens right away. So you can walk forward and do your charge move at the cost of using up more cooldown than usual, right? That's just one example. Another thing, from my own personal experience playing the beta of the game, since I'm usually crap at reaction times trying to Dragon Punch moves, easy execution Dragon Punch has exactly what the doctor ordered, because I only have to hit forward and a button versus the whole motion, and it just gives me those extra few milliseconds to successfully Dragon Punch a move where otherwise I might not have been able to. Another thing I'm a big fan of in this game is there is no guesswork here. The game is amazing at messaging what's going on here. So look at that, punish. As you can see right there, so you know you got to punish so the enemy knows, hey, I was hit in my recovery frames. No guesswork at all. It says down, we're in a down state, we know it, right? Armor, hey, like once again, the messaging keeps happening. So it lets you know everything all the time on screen very quickly, not very distracting if you don't want to look at it, right? But it lets you know all the states that are happening very quickly and very efficiently. So if you're newer to the game and you just don't understand, hey, it's all there. Once again, it says here armor state, right? So you know that move's armored. Once again, a punish. So we know we hit as a punish. In this example right here, hey, it'll state invincible. So we don't have to guess. Like many Dragon Punch moves, most of them are invincible, but some aren't. But since it clear as day states this move is invincible, no need to guess. All the information is given to you on the screen clear as day. So if you're a pro and you already know, great. But if not, I think this is just very helpful. And hey, speaking of helpful, the menus and stuff and tutorials very good because hey, they show you everything in the command list, not only just how to do the moves, here's a description of the move, here's a video of the move working, just helpful all around. A big part of this game is just helping people how to learn how to play fighting games. So the game does launch with 11 playable characters, technically 12 because one of them unlocks after you beat story mode, it's one of those kind of deals. But each character is vastly and wildly unique from each other here. It's not one of those deals where the game has a lot of characters, but you know, half of them play the same. Everyone is very much their own creature. From some of the characters here, the character Lancelot, he's very much that like super speedster, wall jump, side switches, rekkas, left to right, high low, what's going to happen, lots of air mobility, that kind of stuff. While people like Vasagara, the really big guy we've been seeing here, just all about super armor, huge normals, that kind of stuff. Some characters like Percival are all about building install charges so you can burn on the supercharged version of your moves, and all sorts of variety of characters from standard grapplers to standard zoners, all that kind of stuff. So yes, the roster is a bit smaller than some fighting games at launch, and don't worry, there's DLC. Oh my lord, there's plenty of DLC to be coming because that's just the way things work. But yeah, each character is very unique, so you don't have to worry about that thing where, you know, a couple characters play too similar to each other. From everything I've seen, everything I know about these characters so far, everyone is just very much their own guy, and if you're looking for unique characters, hey, this game should be doing well by it. On the mechanics front again here, just to mention here, since I mentioned how EX moves are all about cooldown management, you know, you burn your EX, it's all about your cooldown on your skill bar. It doesn't use any meter. Meters are purely and only for super moves in this game. This being an Arc System Works game, you build meter the way many Arc System Works games do. You know, just being aggressive, even the act of moving forward will build you super meter. So you have two styles of super. The regular super is when you have high enough health, and you have your desperation super when you are about 30% or below. Your desperation super unlocked, and it's basically a bigger, faster, better, stronger version of your existing super. So it's definitely very good to close out rounds. So to give you an idea, your super, your skybound art, here's the regular version using a defensive manner here, and of course beautiful animations as always. But you know, hey, kind of a stock super in the end, right? And here's the character Lowain using his Desperation Super Skybound art. And it's a game changer as you become a completely different character. Galactus-style character that just breaks the rules of the game with like screen-owning normals, unblockables, all that kind of stuff, right? So the Super Skybound arts, very big deals to say the least. And yeah, so I guess that's just kind of a general overview of the game as a whole. You know, here's some of the mechanics, here's some of the other stuff. I'm not going over every little detail, you know, like there's spot dodges, there's King of Fighter style rolls. There's a lot of other stuff to talk about in this game. And as a guide maker, you know, on this channel, when the appropriate time comes, I'll be making guides for all that stuff and character guides and all that kind of stuff. So please, hey, look forward to that. But yeah, overall, I think this is a strong game with quite a bit of promise. I'm going to say myself, to be brutally honest, early on, I did not have much faith in this game. I thought it looked too simple, too baby mode, all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, I start seeing people actually know how to play. I start seeing people know a lot of the concepts. And honestly, I completely changed my opinion around. I went from not believing in this game to being kind of excited for it. So hey, thumbs up to Arc System Works. So once again, game comes out March 3rd in the North American territory, and if you're the adventurous sort, you can try to import a digital copy or a physical copy from Japan, as it will be out in a few days as of the time of me making this video. But yeah, all in all, looking forward to it. Can't wait. Excited. A lot of characters I want to play. Normally, when it's a new fighting game, I only really want to look at 1 or 2 characters. I'm interested in about half the cast here, so I'm actually just genuinely excited. But I suppose I should wrap this up here before I ramble too much. So that is the end of this video, my friends. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Hey, go out and play some Granblue.